Good afternoon. We're here to talk a little bit about how to sample a soil for lab properties, and we're going to show you how to sample this soil for um, the physical chemical properties to send to the lab, and also to sample for biological properties and bulk density. Today we're going to be using a ring with a known volume so that we can sample for. We'll use this ring to sample for biology, and we'll use this ring to sample for bulk density. And so for this video, we'll be sampling this way. We also sample bulk densities using clods, and that will be a different video. But for today, we're just going to show you how to sample a soil using this ring for bulk density and biology, and then we'll take a bulk sample also. So I'm going to sample a horizon here. We usually start sampling at the bottom because if you start at the top, material from the top falls down and contaminates the surface of the horizon below. So usually we start sampling at the very bottom horizon first, but because I have to bend over to do that, I'm going to start here in the middle. So we'll sample this horizon right here. So I get a tray and I just start pulling material out of here, out of this layer, and getting it into my tray. And I need to get enough material into the sample bag so that they can sample all the properties. As I'm doing this, I'm looking at the structure that's coming out. I'm looking at the colors. I'm looking at roots and pores. I see lots of pores in the soil. And so them will be things I'll be describing in my profile. But we usually describe soils first and then we sample them later. So you would get material like this in your tray. And I'm going to transfer it to this tray here because this tray is a lot easier to pour out of. Now, I'll take this, and we have a bag that's pre-labeled with the horizon information and the side information. And all this information will go into NASAS, which will be locked to this site and located in NASAS as this site. We'll put this bulk sample into the bag. And then we'll seal that bag up to send it to either the University of Missouri or Lincoln. Okay, so that's the bulk sample, and they'll get most of the soil physical and chemical properties from that. We'll use this bag here to take our ring sample, and from it we'll get biological information. We'll get PLFA, which is phospholipid fatty acid, which tells us about the soil biology. And we'll also get bulk density. So this ring that we use has a known volume. And the way you use this ring is you place the ring. We're going to use this horizon here. So we're going to place the ring over here in that horizon. And we'll take a hammer and drive this ring into the soil. And you need to be careful that whenever you get close to the surface starts getting close to this, that you're not compacting that surface, because we're really after the bulk density of this material. So you get close to the surface, you start taking care that you're not compacting it. You can pound on the edge of the ring away from the soil, and you have to watch out because you get soil material that falls out of the ring readily, and you don't want to pack that, and every time you hammer on it, material wants to fall out. So you need to get that nice and flush on that surface. And then we'll take a knife and we'll dig that ring out, dig all around it, and then we'll try to get in behind it really well so that we don't lose any of the material off the back side of it. Sometimes roots give you a lot of trouble because they'll pull the material out as you're taking your ring out of the profile. So try to get around it as best you can. Get it good and loose. And then when you when you finally get under it, kind of lift up and pull that out and hold it with your hand. You can take the material off the edge as best you can. We want to look at this back side, but when you turn this over, you have to be careful that the material that's loose on the front don't fall out. So put your hand over that. And then you can take your knife and start shaving this material off this side, but you have to be careful that you don't take material out of the middle of the ring or off the edge of the ring that's part of the sample. You want this flush all the way across, and this is coming out really nice. It don't always work this way. You know, sometimes. So that's really what you want right there. That's a good sample. So we take the sample and we put it in our tray. So make sure that material that was loose gets in there. And you can push it out. Sometimes you have to dig it out. This worked pretty well to push it out. And you don't want any of the material off the outside edge of that in there. So that we got all the material from the inside. That's what we want. And you can break that up a little bit to get it in the bag. But you want to be sure you get all of this material in the bag, and we're using these little twist bags. They're just barely big enough, but they are working. And we have it labeled with the same pet-on information and horizon information. And if I can get that open, we'll put that sample in there. So we put the sample in the bag, which, you know, we would put all that material, make sure you get it all in the bag, and then you want to close this bag up, and then you want to put this bag in a cooler and keep it cool until you can get it to the lab, because it is a biological sample along with bulk density. We sample surfaces from the top with the ring, which is a little different. We'll put the ring on the surface like here, and then we'll take and pound that into the surface with our block and our hammer, and then we'll just pull that out that way. So you can take samples horizontally or vertically with the ring, either way. And so that's how we use the bulk density ring for sampling. So that is our video on sampling today, and we'll do a video sometime soon on how to sample using clods for bulk density. Thank you.